don't know the power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
It sounds like you're singing an entirely different song.
I know. I can't even, I just like total guesswork. I don't know what in the hell it's even catching.
No worries. It must be a Thursday, judging by exactly how fatigued we all are.
Very fatigued.
The robot says it's DB94. Hey, everybody. I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is just Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And welcome aboard. You could be listening to us on sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. You could be watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Any of those things is possible. And we're grateful if you do. Mm-hmm. But boy, are we tired. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. So tired.
Yep. It was tempting to kind of call the show tonight, I must admit.
I almost left it to you guys and just bailed myself because I'm tired. I'm tired because I went to a book signing last night in Pasadena, so I had to leave work at 3 p.m. in order to get to Pasadena to grab dinner with my friend and Laura, and then we went and saw Deb Perlman of Smitten Kitchen talk about her new book, which I should have brought to show you. See?
Oh, look at that! Look at that book.
Wow, it's sitting in the dining room.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I never leave the show and run out and grab a thing.
All right, I'll go run out and grab it while you guys talk about what you did.
Cool. Howdy Neil, howdy Phil, howdy Don, Pat, Linda.
Oh my gosh.
Laura and Chris.
There's a lot of people checking in right away.
Yeah, wow.
Don Coulter brings up that David Crosby passed away. No relation that I'm aware of, I'll have you know.
Yep.
I'm a different branch of the Crosbys. Honestly, I don't know that much about my family. So I don't know who I'm connected to. Could be David. Could be Bing. I have no clue.
Could be Denise.
Could be who's the guy who plays hockey? Stanley? Simon? What's his name?
Stanley? His last name is Cup.
No.
Oh.
There's a Crosby.
Oh.
I think there's a bunch of Crosbys. And those Crosbys are in Pittsburgh, which is actually where I'm from. So there we go. There's Colleen's book.
That's my book.
There it is. Oh. Hey, Alan is watching too.
The funny thing that I learned about Smitten Kitten cookbooks, and I have Smitten Kitchen, not Kitten. I have, this is the third one of her books that I have. I learned that if you take off the paper cover, wait.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
there's a different picture.
Pretty. Well, because who really leaves a paper cover on in their kitchen?
Gotcha.
Apparently I do, because I've cooked out of all three of the first two books, and I've never taken the cover off to notice that they all have different covers. And it was kind of cool because I got it signed. If I can find the page where she signed it to me. But the sad part is that I had to inform her that if she left Pasadena an hour and a half before her flight, she was going to be in LA for longer than she wanted to be.
Because she'd miss her plane. Right, yeah. Colleen Crosby, bearer of bad tidings.
Right. It was very sad.
I'm glad you had fun, though. I didn't go. I stayed home, and Colleen had, basically sort of what equates to a girls' night out. You met up with a friend, you had dinner.
Yep, we went to a Thai restaurant. It was fun. And got the wrong dish. We tried to order pad Thai, and something with wide noodles came. I have no idea what it was. I believe the waiter told us what it was, but I didn't understand what they said.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Noodles are noodles to me.
Like bolo Thai.
No, they're not, because you don't like the wide noodles when I get them.
Oh, those are the big slimy ones.
They're not slimy.
They're slimy.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and then I had a
Thorn.
meeting earlier than I'm used to this morning, and not as early as Jeff goes to work, but earlier than I'm used to, and it wasn't the kind of meeting where you can just sit. It was something where I had to really think about what I was doing and try to get what I need done. So,
Gotcha.
oh, is it the end of the show already?
It's
Sean?
not.
Wow,
No.
fast, man,
So
jeez.
there's a problem that there are some things that are still connected to my keypad for some reason, and it changes the scene. I'm not sure why it does that.
Wacky.
I have to figure it out. Yeah, it's really lame. It's super lame. And so anytime I hit like a keypad button over here, it does something weird. So
My goodness,
Get
a
it
lot of
back.
people. Did you guys say hi to everybody while I was gone?
yeah, we tried to.
Yeah,
but
a
there's a
lot of
lot
people.
of people like chiming in right off the
Yep.
bat.
Well,
Right.
I am going to Disneyland at least one of those people tomorrow.
oh, there you go.
That would be Professor Kalachi. He's watching us on YouTube.
Yay.
You know what's funny is that I believe that 3 people that I know that do not know each other, to my knowledge, all went on the same Disney cruise the last week.
This past week, yeah, I
Uh-huh.
saw a bunch of Facebook people who were like, "Oh my God, we did a 3-day cruise. It was amazing."
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that none of them know each other, and I'm pretty sure it's all the same cruise. So that was pretty funny.
That's kind of cool. Oh, hey, it worked. I successfully spammed Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube
Hey, good job.
with a post. Woo!
Yay.
We are the champions. No,
Did
it's
you?
like very small victories.
Oh, good.
So, Sean, do you want to talk about you? You did an awful lot of stuff this weekend.
Yeah, I did some pretty interesting stuff. First thing, Jeff and I were on the same team for bowling with buckets,
Yep.
which was super cool. I'll show you our team logo here, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, I have to know how many games you guys bowled.
2.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do 3.
No, we did 2 games. We thought
me
we got
too.
a practice game, and we did not.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer. And
Because your third game was the best one you did.
yeah. So our second one was better in what they judged us on. We got 1 practice game and 1 real game. So this was our team name. We were Stay on Target. And we sort of bastardized little Star Wars art there with the bowling pins and the. But if you look at all the switches, they're all bowling things. There's one for a strike and a spare. There's the button that calls drinks to your lane. There's a bowling shoes button, and I gotta say, they ran out of shoes.
Yeah.
Well, that's embarrassing.
It was super embarrassing. They
Yeah, I had to wear
totally
my
ran out
own.
of shoes. What was our other team? Score Matters Not. That was the other name we were going by. We didn't make up our mind enough in time to do T-shirts, but I sort of liked this one. I thought the Yoda with the martini and a bowling ball was kind of fun. But anyway, we had a pretty terrific time, and I don't know. Did you pull anything, Jeff?
Did I pull anything?
Yeah.
Like muscles.
My arm was kind of sore. My left leg was completely sore and messed up, and my right leg was sore. But and it wasn't until basically maybe yesterday that it felt better. So 4 days later, it took a long time for them to finally heal up, as it were.
I thought I was okay, and I was worried about my back, and so the first game I did with a 14-pound ball, and then the second game I switched to a 12-pound ball,
Yeah.
Which I have to remember that. I think 12 is my number. I think I got to remember that. But so I have a distinct disadvantage when bowling because my eyes are terrible. So they always tell you, focus on the pin that you want to hit. It's a white blur. It looks like a smile down there at the
I'm at
end.
a disadvantage in bowling too, but that's just because I'm bad at bowling.
You're just ill coordinated.
Yeah.
My coordination isn't the best either. And in fact, I'm not sure if Brent thought it was cool or he was making fun of me. One of our teammates was making fun of my weird little hop skip thing that I do when I bowl. I just kind of do what the ball tells me to do. It's like it's not a thing. So it's like I go, I swing, I let go of the ball, and whatever the rest of my body does, I'm not even focused on that. But it involves some weird leg gymnastics and things like that. And I thought I was okay. And then a friend of ours from quite a long time ago, we hadn't seen her in a long time, Jennifer Rich, came into town, and Colleen and I took her to breakfast. And I got out of the car, and my knee went, sucker.
Oh, dear.
And so my knee's been bugging me all week. But I didn't seem to hurt it bowling. I seemed to hurt it getting out of the car.
Yeah, mine was just muscle strain because, I don't really I guess I'm not using my legs as much as I thought I was. So
Lift from your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that we had a surprise visit. That was pretty cool.
We did. She was. We haven't seen her in a long time. Her and her husband. We were both in their wedding party, 25 years ago or something like that. And Andrew Rich, her husband, was our roommate for a time. And really, really great people. We just haven't seen them in a long time because they moved up north, and now they moved even further up north. Now they're up in Washington State. Just like really far away. But she came into town and basically went, hey guys, I'm going to swing by your house. And we went to breakfast and it was great.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So it was
nice.
Yeah, quite nice to see her. And then, gosh, what else did I do? As mentioned on the show, the next day, I went to Riverside National Cemetery, where strangely, I've been more than I would expect to have been in the past few years.
More than you'd want to be.
Right. That is a cemetery that your dad is buried in, by the way.
Yeah.
I double checked. And so we went, some 501st people and me representing the Rebel Legion, the one lone Jedi, to do a memorial service for a Marine. He actually passed away like a year and a half ago. But all of his friends and his fellow Marines, his family, all came in, and they had a birthday celebration for him. He was a huge Star Wars fan. So much so that somebody had they'd gotten kind of a cheaper Darksaber and driven it in at the top of his headstone. So there's one of those flat military style headstones in the grass with the Darksaber sticking out of it. It was kind of crazy, and all the little tributes. And he would have been 24, I think, and his tributes that people left were everything from like a Cobra Commander G.I. Joe figure from the 1980s to squad patches to there was a bottle of whiskey or something. It was really interesting. And of course, we were there primarily for the family, and they were all super sweet, and they had the best time, and there were a few kids there, and we goofed off with the kids. And there was a bagpiper, and the bagpiper came dressed up sort of as a Jedi Rey. She was sort of a blend of these two things. And she played all Star Wars music, and then played Happy Birthday, and it was very moving. She was quite good. She came over and hung out with us and things like that. So it was kind of a last minute thing, but I was glad to have been able to do it. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
But it was a long drive. I think I spent like 3.5 hours in the car, and it rained like crazy on the way back. I'll tell you, I wasn't sore from bowling, but boy, was I sore from driving back in the rainstorm. You know how you like grip the steering wheel and you're watching traffic around you and you're trying not to let people hit you and stuff? That wore me out. So I walked in the door and I was basically just a knot of muscles. It was crazy. Crazy.
Wow. What about you, Jeff? What did you do?
Well, I went bowling for buckets, of course. And T, who was on our team, gave me Sven.
Sven.
Yeah, it was a little beanie baby Sven, and it was
Oh, cute.
it was the last one of the T had gotten me a Christmas present because it was part of a Secret Santa thing or whatever weird that we did at the kid's house, and it was the super duper magnets. I've got to bring and show you, Sean. They're very incredibly strong. I'm going to use them for the car basically, but
oh, cool.
And it was like, oh, here you go, and then.
And how much skin did you lose pinching your fingers with?
Yeah, I didn't do that part yet.
Sean.
I'm trying to fix it. Hold on.
But the magnet, T gave me magnets. I'm all cool. Then he said, "Oh, well, but that's your other present's not here yet." I'm like, "The magnets were fine. that was enough." And then, and that was good. T gave that to me at the bowling alley.
We had a pretty good team at the bowling alley. So we had T, who was dressed as Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
Who has had a very focused and like Zen bowling style, like right up to the line, and the ball just sort of like rolled out down the thing. It was very, very funny.
Yes.
Brent was on our team, and he was trying everything to up his game. Jeff, me, and then Jacob was our fifth. And Jacob is a tall rebel pilot, and so he was bowling in his pilot helmet and his orange Hoth jacket from Disneyland, and it was a good crowd. We had a very good time, and we were next to the other rebels, which was Christina and her gang. So we had a pretty good time. And so the thing with bowling with buckets, in case we didn't explain this, because I know we didn't, is that it was sort of the holiday party for the Rebel Legion and the 501st. And the first game was to get you warmed up, and the second game, people were supposed to wear their helmets. And so if you're a stormtrooper, you wear your stormtrooper helmet, or clone, or Mando, or whatever you happen to costume as with a helmet, you wear it. We didn't wear helmets, most of us. So. But we also didn't do very well either. I think the highest scoring team got almost 700 points. We got about half of that. We were 403 or something like that.
Yeah.
I broke 100, and that makes me happy. I got like 110 or something like that.
Yeah, my first game was better than my second game. So,
Yeah, don't you hate that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the second game was like, I'm tired, I'm in pain, and I don't care anymore. And so, gutter balls ensued, basically.
Well, and then it looks like the rest of your weekend was spent doing mellow, focused things to detox.
Yeah, I mean, and it was like, stumbling around the house at trying not to, trying not to walk a lot because all the stepping was painful.
Ugh, sorry,
my
man.
legs.
That sucks.
It was bad. The right leg wasn't as bad, but it was still bad.
Yeah, but that just makes you walk in circles.
Yeah, but I mean, exactly. After, but it was a matter of like I needed to get up and walk around, and the pain would lessen as I walked.
Mm-hmm.
But if I sat down for a bit or laid down for a bit and got back up, it was wham! Hey, we're back.
Wow.
Pain.
Lori mentioned that she'd hate to try to bowl in a Rebel Fleet Trooper helmet. I almost did, Lori. I almost took it with me to bowl in it. Actually, the one I really wanted to take with me that I thought would have been totally awesome, only because it makes me look like a complete dork, but I wasn't doing Imperial stuff, is this one.
Oh dear.
I totally wanted to bowl in this one because it's got like bowling ball holes in the front, which is
Yeah,
cool.
pretty much.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it makes me look like a complete dork.
Your black wiffle helmet.
And it makes
Yeah.
that great plastic noise.
Well, I mean, you know, they probably slow down when they run because all those wiffle ball holes in the
Right.
top.
Or they're super aerodynamic. I mean, if it were a
Yeah.
bike helmet, those would be vents to cool your head off.
I should have worn that
so-
to this silly hat thing we had at work.
Oh, yeah. Well, anytime.
So the other stuff I did was I started working on my Lego Star Wars ship that I got for Christmas, which was the I think it's the Emperor's shuttle. It could be.
It's
Vader's, I
the
don't know.
shuttle Tidarium, right?
Yeah,
From Return of the
or
Jedi.
something. Yeah, it's just one of the shuttles. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the cool one with 3 wings that fold up. And
Yeah.
how big is that model going to be when it's done?
Oh, geez. You know, I don't know. I'm only doing I'm only up to like the front window piece that you can, I guess, moves or something up for a little while. And it's already like yay big. So it's going to be pretty huge.
Sometimes
Yeah.
the Lego models are kind of surprising. I know someone who's working on the Titanic right now, and it's like 3 feet long.
Jeez.
It's nuts. It was also something like $800.
Yeah, jeez.
Wow.
And last thing I did was play D&D.
Woohoo!
That's fun. With the family?
Owen, Casey, Sparrow, and Christina and myself. Yeah.
Cool. Were
So-
were creatures slayed?
Yeah.
Creature slayed, treasure found.
Yeah, it was a matter of exiting, I guess, fighting something in one room, exiting, going into another room, and then getting out of that room, and then
You enter a 10 by 10 room. There is a line down the middle of the room.
yeah.
I had a dungeon master that kept trying to get us with that. And the reason there was a line down the middle of the room is because the walls squished you in the middle.
Yeah.
Basically, we just kept backing out of the room.
Neil didn't
geez.
know that Andrew and Jennifer got married.
Oh dear.
They got married 25 years ago, Neil.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Sorry that you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They and they seem to be doing terrific. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Neil, Andrew makes us all look so bad. He's
He
running
runs
marathons and Ironman competitions, and holy crud,
Oh, boy.
he basically just got super fit. And he'll hate me for saying this too. I want Andrew. If he lived around here, man, I would hound him until this happened. I want him to come to a Ghostbusters event and to do it as William Atherton, because he looks so much like William Atherton.
Gosh, that would be funny.
And you can see it, right, Colleen?
Yeah.
And
Totally.
he would hate that I said that,
Nice.
because conversely, Andrew looked like either Weird Al or William Atherton.
Oh.
But I think he would have a blast just running around being an ass to people. But he would have to
Nice.
admit that he looked like William Atherton, which he will never ever do.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny. Phil Keller corrects
Yeah.
us that it's a Lambda class shuttle, the Emperor shuttle, which is cool. And
Could have been Tri-Lambda, but just Lambda.
Lambda.
Yeah.
You know, it depends. How good are they on the guitar and
Yeah.
the electric violin? So the last thing that I did this weekend, you covered everything you did, right, Jeff? This weekend?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure I'm not cutting you off. So the thing that I did, it was Friday the 13th, last Friday.
Dun,
and my stroke of good luck was I got my HasLab Proton Pack early. They're
Cool.
they're shipping them out months before they said we were going to get them. I think we were supposed to get them March or April or something like that. And oh my God, the box was like freaking huge. We have a trunk, kind of like a steamer trunk in our living room, and this thing was that big. It was absolutely huge. In fact, here, let me see if I could dig up some pictures really quick, because it was so much bigger than I expected it to be. Here, let me.
Hey, Rose. Hi, Lori. And I can't remember who Canis Latrans Sapiens is. Is that Don? Or is that Andy?
I think it's Andy.
I can't remember. I think it's Andy. Okay.
All right.
Remember.
Let's see if I can get this button right.
So sorry.
There we go. So you see the steamer trunk on the floor, and you see how big this box is. It was like on our front porch. It was nuts. And then they completely psyched us out. It was
just
like
action figures.
Right. Could you imagine that many action figures? Oh my God. Colleen would kill me.
Yeah. I may kill you anyway.
I know.
You know.
Just on principle. So it was like a box within a box within a box. But I mean, do these guys know me or what? I mean, does that just sort of scream our design style? And actually, what you can't see, I saved the box because the box was so cool. It's actually behind Colleen. There was a terrible box that was this dilapidated cardboard box, and I replaced it with that had a Vader costume in it. So the costume is still there and everything, but
it's over here.
Now that box is actually behind Colleen. But this whole thing was like nuts. And, you know, it's still a toy. They give you stickers and stuff, which are really fun. They expect people are going to revert it back to 1984 style, and they made some accommodation for that. I'm kind of thinking of doing a blend of the two. Yeah. I'm not going to keep it exactly like Afterlife. And this is the thing that was really funny. So many people on Facebook are like, oh my God, I got my pack. If only I could power it up, because I don't have any D-size batteries. And
really?
They went to the store and couldn't find D-size batteries. I guess nobody really uses them anymore, right?
You just go to the dollar store. Geez, they're there.
Something. Well, and so I had 2 full sets of unused D-cell batteries. I don't know what that says about me. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, you just get them at the 99 cents only store. They're always there.
So anyway, I've already started modding it. I put the Alice pack on it, and they made it so you can field strip it, which is really cool. Like anything that you think could come off of it does. It makes different sound effects for what it does.
Because
anyway.
In the movie, she pops the thing open and fiddles with it. So.
Right, exactly.
I want to watch the movie again.
So it's pretty cool. I watched it the other night while I was fiddling with it. So we should totally watch it again.
Yeah.
But it's 17.8 pounds. Now, from what I understand, the original Ghostbusters backpacks in the first movie were 35 pounds fully loaded.
Yeah.
Although I think...
and they have stunt ones that are way lighter, but...
they had foam ones. I think that Harold Ramis said they were 50. I don't know if he's exaggerating or what, but
more than likely.
He said they were insanely heavy, and so this is not a light thing. But I will tell you, man, it's really super beautiful. I sold off some Star Wars toys to pay for this.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. I'm just like so glad that it all worked out. So. It's definitely a good purchase, and now I have my full Ghostbusters complement, which is great. I have a Spirit pack that I was modding, and that's what I stole the Alice frame from. But I still want to finish it up, so Colleen has a pack, and it's not going to be as heavy and cumbersome and as big as that other one, which would suit her, I think, better. So.
Okay, then.
We'll see how it goes.
All right.
But that took a good portion of my weekend messing with that thing.
Yeah.
And the week. You've messed with it
And the week. Yeah.
a bit this week. Jeff, you want to give us some Star Wars news?
Woo! Yeah.
No music because they keep dinging us for the music. I haven't found replacement
geez
music
Louise.
yet. I keep forgetting. But yeah, they keep giving us we're gonna silence your video.
Man.
Oh, that's it. See, you just got us dinged again.
There you go. See, there it goes. Damn.
Can they do
January-
that? Can they ding it if you
Just hum it? I don't think so.
Well,
and
no, not really.
And in reality, I mean, there's a certain amount that's supposed to be considered like a free use thing. You're supposed to be allowed to do like a 5 or 10 second sting.
Yeah, exactly.
And in our case too, we license all of this music through the radio station. It's the video side that gives us
the YouTube's
gives us garbage.
Yeah, it gets toast.
Yeah. So I get these messages all the time going, "You've been a bad person."
Yeah.
And it's not even from America. It's like Lithuania or somewhere weird. It's always really bizarre.
I'm sure Lithuanians don't think they're weird.
Damn. Curse you, Lithuanians.
It's not the place I expect to get Star Wars copyright notices from.
Yeah, yeah.
Of all places, Lithuania
what the heck?
seems far removed from all that.
Yeah. Our first bit of Star Wars history as a birthday is January 13th, 1931. Chris Wiggins was born. He played the voice of Mon Jolpa, I guess.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, on Star Wars Droids.
I have no idea who that is.
And it's like, okay, well, Star Wars Droids, but if you look at the IMDb, holy cow, he was one busy individual. 156. A lot of them are voice parts and stuff. So he did a lot of the old Marvel cartoon voices back in the 60s.
Well, and oh my gosh, he was in Rock and Rule, which if you remember the animated movie Rock and Rule, that's a pretty great thing to have under the belt.
Yeah.
And he did 72 episodes of Friday the 13th, the series.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a weird show. It had nothing to do with Jason.
It was more like a Warehouse 13 kind of show, wasn't it? Wasn't it all about like big scary artifacts that were killing people or something?
Yeah, yeah.
So
and they would go and get them and bring them back, like Channel 11 or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever it was UPN.
Holy quack. Oh, he was in a show called Tropical Heat. And it's like, strangely enough, that's the show I keep telling people about that I saw a long time ago. Yeah, I think it's a comedy.
Huh.
And
I just think of the
if I'm correct,
tropical heat wave. It's a tropical heat wave. Ding! We got another copyright violation.
Ah, damn.
Damn.
Maybe it's probably not tropical heat. Never mind. But there was a show that's completely unrelated to this and Star Wars that had like two cops in New York that were tired of it freezing and so in the snow, and so they relocated to like Hawaii, and I think it was a comedy buddy cop show, but I have no idea what it's called.
You're not thinking of Miami Vice, right? You're not confusing the two.
No. Hawaii.
Wow, this guy back in 1966 was Thor, Hawkeye, Kraven the Hunter.
Yep.
Wow, he had all sorts of stuff. He
was even strangely he was even in Hawkeye and the Last Mohicans, but didn't play Hawkeye in that.
That's a different Hawkeye.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
He was in Spider-Man and stuff, so he had a lot. Yeah, he was a busy individual.
He was in the 1973 Tom Sawyer. Is this the one I'm thinking of? No, it's the one with Buddy Ebsen. Not the one with the kid from Sigmund the Sea Monster.
Yeah. So prolific individual.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is nuts.
So dang, man, he was busy.
Busy dude. And here's he did 5 episodes of Droids. I don't even remember his character.
Such an important character that
we have no idea who it was.
Mike, if I go there, what does he look like? Is there going to be a picture?
He was.
It's like sort of a lion baboon looking guy?
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever.
He was also in Maniac Mansion, the television show based on the LucasArts game.
Yeah.
And he was Cornelius in Babar. The Babar thing.
Bye-bye.
Babar.
So pretty cool. So pretty neat.
Well, neato, man. That's
Yeah.
because sometimes we read these guys and we're like, what?
And you're like,
you read his name, and the
One
first
thing.
thing I thought of was Tim Conway.
Oh,
Mrs. Wiggins,
Oh,
Yes.
me too. Totally.
me too.
right?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
pronounce that Hawiggins?
Yeah.
Mrs. Wiggins.
Or Police Chief Wiggins, but he's Wiggum.
Nah, it wouldn't be that guy.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go.
I think that's Wiggum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chief Wiggum. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's with
Wiggum,
an M.
yeah.
Not Wiggins.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I said it wouldn't be that guy.
Oh,
Exactly.
I got it.
Yeah. January 14th, 1976 is when A New Hope's day one. Oh, the daily production report was put out, and it was today's shooting comprised of special effects tests on laser swords, R2D2 model, and illuminated control boards. And it's got a picture of Obi-Wan, or just standing there, or whatever. I'm like, so was he there too? Just
Well, if it could have been one of two things. It was either this sounds like all mechanical stuff, and the R2D2 model is probably the physical R2D2, like the remote control R2D2. The lightsabers used on set had a motor and a cord that ran out the bottom to a battery, and they had a rod that spun, and the rod was coated in reflective Scotchlite material.
Yeah.
And they would bounce a light off of it. And so even before there were any colors on the lightsaber, they would glow into the lens. And that's why in the original version of Star Wars, if you watch the VHS or before the special edition and they got around to fixing it, when Ben puts his lightsaber and sort of points it at Darth Vader and it kind of goes point on, it vanishes. His blade vanishes for a second. And that's because there was nothing to reflect back into the camera.
yeah. In the original trailer, the saber was white.
Right.
They
Yeah.
have a color. Yeah.
I'm glad they made them colors, though. It
Me too.
Made it
Yeah.
cooler, and so it's Vader is red, Obi-Wan is blue, and they flash yellow when they combine, which I always thought was an interesting thing.
Zappo. January 19th, 1983 is when Variety Magazine posted an ad from George giving congratulations to Spielberg for surpassing Star Wars with E.T. Yeah. And I had everybody on there, heroes holding E.T., blah, blah, blah.
I love that tradition.
Yeah.
There was a great one that featured all of the Star Wars characters leaping off of Titanic when Titanic passed Star Wars.
Yeah.
What a great way to just kind of give little nods to people going, hey, you kicked my ass. That's awesome.
Exactly.
I was looking to see if I can find that poster.
Oh, it shouldn't take much.
Because I remember they were full page ads in the newspapers and stuff. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's got Jaws in here too.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Let me just throw it up for some people here.
Whoa.
Not like that. It's funny. I was trying to get just the picture, and it won't let me get just the picture. It's like, this is not advertising. Don't think it's advertising.
Gotcha.
There we go. So Han and Luke in their ceremonial gear, hoisting E.T. up on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Of course, Leia's dressed in Endor stuff. I guess Return of the Jedi was the most recent film to have come out when this happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, Luke's in the jacket and stuff from, so.
Yeah, he's in this stuff from A New Hope at the end in the ceremony. So
Oh, yeah, huh? That's weird.
it is kind of weird. I think whoever the artist was, and it doesn't say. they took some liberties, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, not a big deal. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. January 13th, 1990 is when Star Tours opened at MGM Studios at Walt Disney World.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh,
I was not
that's-
there.
No.
That's it for the news.
Did we talk about on the show how we would, if we lived by any Disney park, we would probably live by Walt Disney World, if given that choice?
If you could move, like,
If we
I
could
don't
not live
really
in
wanna
Florida,
Florida.
we're not talking about like the state. We're
yeah.
just talking
Yeah.
about the park.
Not on board with that, but yeah, that because there's so much to do there, and there's so many restaurants. Although,
Yeah.
as we'll be talking about it a little bit later, we're getting a lot of new restaurants coming soon to downtown Disney.
Yes.
We should probably finish talking about Star Wars before we delve into that, though.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the rest of that stuff, I'm going to show you one more picture. E.T. had to give his crown back
Oh.
because Star Wars surpassed E.T., I guess, on re-release, which is pretty funny. This is from 1997, so this was probably after the special editions. And
yeah.
Drew Struzan is the artist on this ad, which was pretty great. But I think that's just like one of the coolest things where, you could sit there and you could get mad. You go, oh, I can't believe they beat me and whatever. Or you could, I suppose you reach a certain level of success where
Yeah.
you're just like, so what? That's cool. Someone was gonna beat me someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
Pretty
pretty
darn
fun.
cool.
All right, so moving on to the last bit of Star Wars news. The trailer for The Mandalorian came out.
Yay.
What did you guys think?
I
Looks
liked
interesting.
it. I mean, obviously it doesn't give us enough information, but
Thank
there
goodness.
was some kind of interesting stuff in there if you really kind of dig.
You know what I liked?
Hmm.
That there were like maybe 3 characters that are the same race as Babu Frick,
Yes.
but
Oh,
are not
yeah,
Babu
yeah.
Frick.
Right. And
Because they said one of them their names and it was not Babu Frick.
well, and I think I had the subtitles on,
Oh.
and it gave the name of the race, which I don't ever remember hearing before.
Yeah.
Do we want to run that trailer, or
Sure.
do we not?
And Zelen. Oh, maybe that was the race and not. I thought that was the name. So it could have been Babu Frick.
Yeah, it was. It was. I don't think it's Babu Frick. I think, although they all seem to wear those little visors on their heads, but they were different than.
Yeah.
I want to know why it says Anzellan male. Like, what does the Anzellan female look like? Why do they have to call it out like that?
I don't know.
I'm a little nervous now.
Maybe the females wear shirts.
While you run the trailer, I will try to figure out what's going on here.
Okay.
Oh, no, I see. They're just saying that Babu Frick is an Anzellan male.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna turn off the closed captioning here and pop that up. Okay. Everybody ready?
Okay, Doc.
Okay. Interestingly, it doesn't start from pitch black. Here we go.
Our people are scattered, like stars in the galaxy. What are we? What do we stand for? Being a Mandalorian's not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy. That way, you'll never be lost. going to Mandalore, so that I may be forgiven for my transgressions.
May the Force be with you!
This is the way.
There's something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Hang on, kid. This is the way.
There you go. The really interesting things, if you like kind of dig in the background, like when Mando comes up to meet Grief Karga, there's a statue next to him. It looks like they put up a statue to IG-11, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know if that's really the case or not, but
maybe.
It kind
on
of
the
looked
big
like
screen.
that. Yeah, it's sort of hidden in the background. You don't get a really clean look at it that I'm aware of, but you can especially see where they're talking. You see the foot and the leg, and you're like, oh, that's an IG droid. Anyway, it looks more action oriented than the previous two series. It like war happening.
I'm probably. Yeah.
Except honestly, I'm kind of disappointed, and I don't know. Maybe this is a sleight of hand. It's like a feint or something where he says, "Oh, I'm going to go to Mandalore and atone for my transgressions." Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, get out of the cult. I took off my helmet. I'm not a Mandalorian anymore. Oh my god, no! Get out of the cult. Come on.
Yeah.
What the heck is wrong?
Right.
Phil Keller says, all the Mando mercs just fainted.
Yes.
Aw.
I heard that that they used to be called the Mandalorian mercs, and Lucasfilm made them change their name to Mando mercs.
Interesting.
Because they didn't want confusion with the Mandalorian and things like that.
Could be.
That's what I was told. I asked a couple members, and they confirmed it, and I'm like, interesting. But Disney's funny. Very frequently, they will have us as groups. Like if we go to an event, we are not allowed to hold anything with a brand. We have to get permission to have like holiday flair for an event and things like that.
Yeah.
While at the same time, they're allowing like Target to paint action figures red and green and make holiday figures that are just like insanely out of universe for sale.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, but you guys can't wear a Santa hat.
Yeah, I know. Jeez Louise.
It is a weird line we walk as Star Wars costumers.
All right, so shall we move on to not trailers, Disney theme parks?
Theme parks.
I mean, honestly, we should almost rename it Disney because that's mostly what we talk
It's
about.
almost all Disney. I mean, we do talk about
It is all
like
Disney.
Knott's and Magic Mountain, but this week it seems
is
to
all
be
Disney.
all about Disney.
So, we've got a Disney 100 food and souvenir guide for Disneyland.
Ooh.
And where is
Should
that
I
one?
call that up?
If you like, you do like to
Fancy.
bring that up on the screen. There are a couple of things that don't look bad, but nothing really leaps out at me and says, "Oh my gosh, you have to try this."
There are a couple of things that don't look bad. That's not
Is that
high,
what I said?
That's not high praise. Yeah.
It's not. I don't know what it is. If the quality has gone down or Maybe
Well,
I
sometimes they don't make-
secretly got COVID and don't know.
No, but I
Lost
mean, they
all my
don't.
taste buds.
Sometimes they don't make the best choices.
Yeah.
For
The thing that I did find really super interesting is if you look at Blue Bayou Restaurant, their celebration cake is pecan brownie, chocolate truffle mousse, red berries, and milk chocolate mousse glazed with chocolate ganache and topped with a star.
okay.
It is also available at, if you can't get into
Bio.
Blue Bayou, it is available in California Adventure at the Magic Key Terrace. So you can only get it if you're either in Blue Bayou or you have a Magic
Or a Magic
Key.
Key member.
And you can get onto the Magic Key Terrace because it is almost as hard to get a reservation there as at the Blue Bayou.
Good grief.
Yeah, they don't have a picture.
I did want to know
Of
if, Jeff, if your wife is going to get the poison apple mug that Sean just
I don't
rolled
know.
by a minute
Yeah,
ago.
this is the Disney 100 Poison Apple mug. It's like a cobalt blue with chrome poison dripping down it.
I don't know. We have the regular one that's got the red with glow in the dark stuff, but I don't
It
know.
looks pretty sinister, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have passes, but Christina might pick it up. Who knows?
Let's see. Well, if you need us to grab it, let us know.
Yeah.
So, what is this pizza that I'm looking at? Honestly,
It's
looks like they
really
just
weird. It's
put lunch meat
French
on it.
onion dip pizza, which means they have combined French onion soup and French dip sandwich. So it's got sautéed onions, and it comes with it's got roast beef.
oh my
on
God,
it,
that's roast beef.
and it comes with
looks like,
with an
Oh,
au jus
no.
dip cup. It looks disgusting.
Oh no!
So,
It
man.
kind of looked. I thought briefly when I first scrolled past it that Disney was gonna have ham and pineapple pizza
Yeah.
there, because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like Hawaiian pizza,
But
that's
honestly,
freaking roast beef.
Does
Ugh.
the pizza that's available at Disneyland ever look like it tastes good? I have had
I
pizza
have
at
had
Disneyland
pizza
that
at
tastes
Disneyland.
good.
That's
However,
fine.
it does not photograph well.
Oh my
And yeah,
God.
I can't with that sandwich.
Clarabelle's Snickers Sundae, butter pecan ice cream topped with chocolate shell, caramel sauce, whipped cream, chopped peanuts, and Snickers bar pieces in a waffle cup.
I would eat that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn it down.
We might have to get that. There's a Empress Gin boozy cocktail at the Lamplight Lounge.
Excuse me. Wow.
They're doing a lot of things with these little chocolate shields with the 100
Yeah.
logo on it. Kind of cool.
I wouldn't turn down the lemon tart that's close to the top of the page, but I don't think that I would seek it out either.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
see
wouldn't.
that.
I don't know that I would go to the Hungry Bear restaurant just to get the lemon chiffon pie. On the other hand,
That hamburger's making me a little hungry.
it's very close to Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
So
Like the sparkling grape drink, which has like a probably a sour grape flavored sour fruit leather strapped over it.
it looks
That's what it
gross.
looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
really,
yeah,
guys?
that's no. No,
we
it,
just stuck it over
It
the
looks
top.
like a tongue.
it looks like blue bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does
it-
look like blue bacon.
It's like, yeah, you get like the fruit leathers that are sour, I don't know
Yeah.
what they call them, but you can get them.
Right.
It's
it-
interesting that
yeah.
their
That's
what it
colors
looks
are
like.
purple and silver.
royal colors.
Yeah.
Except the thing that's interesting, I think it's blue and silver.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but all of these foods have purple in them. Well, the lemon cake doesn't.
Then maybe this mug is really purple and it's just not coming across very well. Because their mug looks blue.
It could be blue.
It-
I think it's blue or purple and silver.
It's like a color change kind of deal. I mean,
No,
they're-
I mean, I think their colors are blue or purple and silver. Like silver's the main color, and then they accent it with either blue or purple.
Yeah, I guess so. Very interesting.
Bizarre.
There's nothing that's lighting me on fire.
Well, that's good.
So I don't know. I mean, if there's a target of opportunity, we might try something.
That's what that noise was.
Okay.
Kelly is splitting the difference and calling it indigo.
Okay. Then.
It's not blue, it's not purple, it's indigo.
Ah.
Ouch.
Magic
Gotcha.
Band Plus will interact with Disney 100 decorations and more 100 news, which I think I might have broken out some of the 100 news into another article, but this, I don't know if I clicked on it incorrectly or what, but, oh no, it's the same one. This article has a ton of stuff in it about what's coming up at Disney. First, it talks about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is it's opening on January 27th, and it's going to be exclusively accessed with the virtual queue.
Wow.
Cool.
There will be no standby, much like Rise of the Resistance was when it opened.
A friend of mine on Facebook who's a cast member is going to the cast member preview, which either is this Friday or next Friday. I guess it's this Friday because it opens next Friday. Gotcha. So, yeah, they were offering their extra tickets up to their friends list. Nice. That was very tempting. And so, I mean, they're really close. They're really close. And I guess Kit had posted a picture of the new Toontown sign, which is back up. They did some color change and they punched it up a bit, making it super
They made
peppy.
the word Toontown out of character letters.
Yeah.
And changed some of the colors on it and stuff. So that was kind of cool.
So World of Color 1 over at Disney California Adventure will also be, they'll have a virtual queue for that if you want to get into the reserved area.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And Wondrous Journeys is the new fireworks and projection show that's going to be at Small World, Main Street, the Castle, and Rivers of America.
The castle picture is kind of interesting.
Casita.
Yeah, because they've overlaid the casita over the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I wonder how complete that illusion is going to be. I'm not seeing the castle texture come through the projection.
Yeah.
Which I imagine would actually happen.
Yeah. Well, some of the castle doesn't have casita on it. You can see in the background of it. So.
Oh yeah.
Didn't
Well,
have
it's
the coloring on it.
Yeah, I can see where that wouldn't happen.
Sleeping Beauty Castle is going to be accented by 2 new water fountains, and then it'll have platinum banners and bunting on it.
I saw something about those.
I'm sorry?
I saw something about those, yeah.
Yeah. And then Disney Gallery is having an exhibit called Disney 100 Years of Wonder. The Magic Happens Parade will be returning February 24th. And Mickey's Toontown, even though Runaway Railway is opening on the 27th, Mickey's Toontown doesn't reopen until March 8th. And what's interesting is one of these links looking for more information, because I didn't see anything about the Magic Band in that article.
No, it didn't seem to mention
the only thing that I saw was something that said, it's in a separate article. That's why. Magic Band Plus is going to interact with decorations around the resort. Hold please while I look. It may interact with the Platinum statues the same way it interacts with the Fab 50 statues at Walt Disney World in Florida.
Okay.
So they're putting up all of those, the silver medallion that you talked about on the food, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're putting those up all around downtown Disney and in the park and everything. And apparently your Magic Band will interact with them.
Okay.
Neat.
Well,
that's pretty
could be cool.
And then this is some older news mixed with some newer news. Let me see which. This is
Ursula.
I lost. Shoot, I had. Oh no, here it is. Sorry, that I'm going back and forth here. This is some older news, but Disney stated before, and I personally had forgotten, that they're going to be opening a dozen plus new restaurants in the new part of, like, overall in downtown Disney.
Yeah. Well,
And so that's pretty good because it's impossible to get a reservation almost anywhere, downtown Disney or California Adventure.
yeah.
And they also mentioned that Pixar Pier, sorry, not Pixar Pier.
Paradise Pier.
Paradise Pier is going to become Pixar Place. And the restaurant, Great Maple, will be operating all of the restaurants in the Pixar Place.
Okay.
And that's a very, like a very trendy place that has lots of bacon and maple bacon donuts and fried chicken and all sorts of things. Lots of choices there. So good place to check out. And then I think there was one more thing. Oh, and I don't remember whether we talked about this before. We did talk about the fact that Portos is coming to downtown Disney.
Yes.
But I don't think we talked about the fact that Din Tai Fung is coming to downtown Disney.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's going to be brutal. So there's going to be Din Tai Fung, which always has
A
like
huge
huge
line.
standby,
Yeah.
and they're going to put Portos, which always has huge lines.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's going to be a mess.
Well, hopefully they won't put them right next to each other so that the lines run into each other. And hopefully between new offerings in the hotels and the other 10 plus restaurants that are going to be opening up, they will, it'll take some of the pressure off of
Gosh,
the lines.
I hope so, because both of those places have the potential to impact the area quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
There's a thing that talks about the El Capitan Theater, but we don't have a link.
Oh,
And I was trying to find the pictures
I
of
can't
it.
see squat of that. Yeah.
it was one of these articles that I opened. I think it was the old one, actually.
Oh, I
The one from
found some
September.
concept art of what's going to be in there, apparently. But I don't know. So if you don't live in Southern California, you probably don't know the El Capitan Theater, which was a Pacific theater and got completely restored to 1930s level glamour, and is now the Disney Showcase Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. It's across the street from the Chinese Theater and from the
I
Dolby
found it.
Theater.
Yeah.
And it's
I found pictures that you can kind of see. Yeah.
and so because in Mickey's Runaway Railway in Florida is in the Chinese Theater, they decided to make this the El Capitan Theater because it's in Toontown.
So this is the pictures are in that old article that is from September, and they are concept. Are they concept drawings? They are concept drawings, and they don't look anything like the El Capitan Theater.
Okay, yeah, if it's the old concept art, I've
It's the
seen
old
it and we've
concept
shown
art
it on
of
the
what
show.
the
and-
interior will look like,
Here's the,
not the
yeah,
exterior.
okay, that didn't do anything for me. I thought
Yeah.
we had actual photographs that somebody
There you
took.
go. There's a picture that you can see of it, kind of it, but it's only from, obviously from
A distance.
outside.
Oh, it's
outside,
yeah,
outside the
it's
land,
it's from the outside. Yeah, it's
so you can
it's-
see the sign at
Yeah.
least.
Oh, we swept right by the top of the hour.
Oh, you know what? And I was
Oh,
so
wow.
on it, and I'm like, okay, I'm watching. And then we got into this.
Yeah.
It's okay. No big deal. The FCC's not going to come kick our butt. But if you are listening to us over on sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi, we're glad to have you over there. This is Docking Bay 94. I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledano.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And you could be watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or through psychic delivery. No, I haven't got that working yet. I was just lucky if I get the regular stuff to work. Could you imagine if I had to do psychic broadcasting too?
It would just be broken all the time. The automated photo pass cameras have been installed at Pete's Silly Sideshow in Florida.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine wanting to use something less.
They did, and we did use this. I think you and I did, Colleen.
Oh, we did.
They set some of these things up in downtown Disney, where they had a giant sand crawler that they put up, and then they had one of these little kiosks, and you walked up to it, and you put in your email address, and you pushed the button, and you stood back and went ta-da, and it gave you 10 seconds to get into your pose. And but the thing that makes me sad about that is that I have so many friends who are PhotoPass friends, and I don't want them to lose their jobs.
I wouldn't want to do it less for anything other than Star Wars. How's that?
Yeah. I mean, well, and it kind of made sense at downtown Disney where they don't have roving photographers.
Right.
But inside the parks, the thing about the PhotoPass people is that they know how to get the good shots. They know where to line it up. And although our last Life Day, to sidetrack a little bit, we just sent out the package. If you guys came to Life Day, you know that we were trying to get together a package for Angie Mayhew, for Peter Mayhew's widow. And she runs the Peter Mayhew Foundation. They provide toys for hospital visits all around the country. We wanted to do something nice back because Life Day essentially revolves around Peter Mayhew and Chewbacca. So we sent that package off today. And we all signed a big card. I set it up with some pictures and stuff and made it really nice. And we sent it up. But as I was looking through the pictures that we got on Life Day were kind of weird. Like the guy got kind of artsy, and he's like, I'm going to shoot down the line, and I'm going to do this and do that. That was a little weird. But for the most part, I like what the PhotoPass people do. They also do the magic pictures, which is they can put a character in the picture with you. So like if you're in Galaxy's Edge and you hold your arm out, they'll put a porg on your arm, or they'll put a monkey lizard on your head. They'll do stuff like that. And that's something that the little kiosk thing just can't do.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I guess if they're putting it in a place where PhotoPass never goes, it's kind of okay. Like I said, I don't want those people to lose their jobs. I know a bunch of them. Jeff does too. Colleen does. And
I know a few.
PhotoPass is a neat job to have, and I think it's one of the really creative jobs in the park. You have to be on the ball and think and take good shots.
All right.
Do you remember the way back when Disneyland used to have Kodak spots around the park?
Picture spots.
Picture spots.
Yeah. That's what this kind of reminds me of that, but I doubt it is anything like that. But no, but I mean, in this case, it's a plinth that takes your picture.
Okay.
So it's like a kiosk, and you push the button, you get in frame. It's got a screen sort of showing you what it's going to shoot, so you can pose with whatever, and then it takes the picture. The Kodak photo spots made sense because Kodak was a sponsor of the park, and they were trying to get you to use film. Buy film. But that said, I mean, you would look for one of those dots on the cement, and you knew you were going to get an awesome picture of the submarines or the monorail or the Matterhorn or whatever.
Island,
yeah, and so that was okay too. I thought that was fine because really they were trying to get you to shoot pictures and to use their 1 hour in park photo development. Which they could charge you lots and lots of money for.
Okay, so moving on to trailers. Coming to Disney Plus on January 25th, Willow Behind the Magic, a documentary about the making of Willow.
Yeah.
Willow the series.
The series, not the movie.
Not the movie, yeah.
And like was stated earlier, it looked like the documentary was more fun than the series. Although,
Pretty much,
to be fair,
afraid,
Sean
yeah.
and I haven't
We
buckled
haven't
down
seen
and
the
watched
series yet. We should probably just buckle down and do it. I don't know why we haven't. It just didn't really light a fire under our butts.
You know, it's a fun little a fun little show. I mean, if people are expecting it to be Willow like you saw in the the original film, probably going to be disappointed because it's not just like that. They're having a lot of fun with it. So
well, and that's the hard thing, is that you kind of want more of what you liked in the 80s. And I think that's why there's a huge portion of people who are disappointed. There are also a lot of people who really, really seem to like it. So they're kind of like split down the middle. I'm trying not to be influenced by the haters, of which there are many on my Facebook page, who are just like, why did they even bother if this is what they were going to do? Kind of.
I like the series. I think that there's certain parts to certain episodes I was not thrilled with what they did, but just because it was like too tropey, you know.
Oh, okay.
Kind of stuff. There's some stuff that was a little too tropey in spots, and like the finale had some tropey spots at the beginning, but not the rest of the episode.
I feel like if you're doing a fantasy thing, how can you avoid those tropes? I mean, you really have to
be clever.
Be working really hard to avoid that kind of thing.
Yeah,
because everything's full of tropes.
Yeah, most shows it's like, like if you see any movie from the 80s or 90s or something, and it's like, well, this guy's probably going to end up fighting this guy. This guy's going to end up fighting this guy. This person's going to do this.
Right.
Because
you see
that
it coming.
was just the playbook, that they all did back then. And I think this breaks that a bit. So that's kind of nice. But
we really suffer, I think, as a culture and as pop culture fans, from one age. The more we've been exposed to, the more we know what to expect. Yeah. And like connectivity, because we're all connected to the internet. We've all got social media. We have all that kind of stuff. And I think that we're, and this is to our detriment, I think, in terms of enjoying entertainment. We're just better informed. We know too much. We know how things are put together and that kind of thing. Whereas, like, The Princess Bride, when The Princess Bride came out, was all trope, no holds barred, and it was on purpose, and it was glorious because of it. Yeah. But if The Princess Bride came out today, I think a lot of people just look at it and shake their heads and go, seen it, done it, been there, whatever.
Yeah. But, there was when people would take a screenwriting class at colleges, they were all taught the same thing. They're all, okay, there's this many beats to this. You have to have these 12 things happen. This story element's got to go. Yeah. And that's what they're all taught. That's why all the movies are all basically the same.
Well, and there's a difference between being formulaic and a difference between being lazy. Yeah. Or playing it safe. And I think that's what a lot of people do, is like, well, audiences expect this. Let's just give them that. That's good enough. And I think that comes from having to please the executives, because I think the executives with the money, if they don't see what they're expecting to see, the money doesn't happen. Yeah. And it's a terrible thing to do. And whenever something does really surprise me, I'm amazed. And when there's something new, like just recently they had the Critics' Choice Awards, and Everything Everywhere All at Once took Best Picture. And who is it? Michelle Yeoh got Best Actress, which was great. And that movie was kind of tropey, but it twisted it. It put things on its ear. It did things a little differently. It was completely unexpected in a lot of the things he did, because that same summer, The Multiverse of Madness had come out. And didn't we just see all this universe jumping and whatever? So, and still it managed to excel as a movie because they did something different. But this was not a studio tentpole movie. This was a movie that was might even be A23. It was like an artsy fartsy movie that they didn't spend all that much money on. You know, in the grand scheme of things. And I think that's why it's winning. I think that's why people are like, holy crap, this movie's great.
Because I mean, if you do something different and even take a risk, it usually pays off. Sometimes it doesn't.
but I couldn't see like a big studio taking that one on, because they're like, oh no, too weird. It doesn't hit all the right buttons, and we don't think it's going to make the kind of money that we need as a gigantic studio.
So and so that's what I feel like with Willow, is that it was very different than what everyone was probably expecting, and I think in a good way. So give it a shot.
We'll watch it. We just haven't got it. Honestly, we've been doing comfort TV. We're sort of blasting our way through Community, which we've never seen.
Done with it.
And we're on season 5, in the middle of season 5 or something, and we're just about out of.
I think we're going to watch Russian Doll next, though.
Yeah, that looked pretty good. We watched the first version of that. Colleen made it a few episodes in and gave it a thumbs up. So
I think Willow's like 8 episodes, I think.
Yeah, I know it's not all that much of a commitment.
Not too much.
We just have to push the button when we get there. And a lot of times, like, do we watch something new or do we watch Barney Miller?
I know how you feel.
Right? And that's kind of it. I'm like, man, just...
All right, so
comfort
moving
TV.
on with trailers. Coming to Apple TV Plus on February 17th is a series called, I think it's a series.
It is a series. I think it's a limited series.
Hello Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it looks really interesting. It's like
like a retro future.
Yeah, it's like set in the 1950s, and it's about some people who appear to be scamming other people by selling them property on the moon.
And but the level of technology, it's not like a bunch of people in our 1950s going, you could live on the moon.
No, it's
they have hover cars and they have robots and they have that kind of level of technology that makes you believe that you could live on a colony on the moon.
Yeah.
Billy Crudup is the lead character in it. It looks like a 10-episode limited series. And I'm in. I mean, I know we don't get Apple TV, but I'm going to have to find a way to watch this.
Stick a link on Prime or something. Who knows?
Yeah, something, because it's just...
it looks pretty darn cool.
It looks super cool. I love the design aesthetic. We have a guy in the R2 Builders group, Kurt, who he's working on the second one now because he sold his first one for whatever reason, but he has made R2 Deco, and he made this Art Deco version of R2D2 that is exactly the design look here. It is so cool.
Nice.
It looks so great, and your typical 50s cars with fins and no wheels, just floating down the street. I'm completely there for it.
Right. Looks good. Hank Azaria is in one episode, and there is someone else who I'm trying to look up who is in at least one episode that I'm a fan of and cannot find them.
Well, part of the problem, too, there's another film that has kind of like mixed itself into my head.
The one right after
as well, which is called Linoleum.
Yes.
Oops, sorry. I was looking up the cast for that, and that's kind of weird too, because it's another like go to the moon kind of story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In our present day.
Yeah.
This is when the host of a failing children's science show tries to fulfill his childhood dream of becoming an astronaut by building a rocket ship in his garage. A series of bizarre events occur that cause him to question his own reality.
Yeah.
And if you watch the trailer, it will cause you to question reality too.
Yeah, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Tony Shalhoub is in this one. Which is
Jim
great.
Gaffigan's the main character.
Right. And
we know Jeff's there.
and it's like Jim Gaffigan as Philip Seymour
true.
Hoffman.
It is.
looks
I
great.
actually didn't recognize Jim Gaffigan to start with.
Yeah, it's really
Not that he was disguised, just that I was not expecting to see him in this role.
Yeah, it's really, and apparently he's getting really good notices for it,
Oh, nice.
which is pretty great. But it's you can watch the trailer, you will have no clue what's real and what isn't real.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a nutty thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming to Hulu on June 6th, History of the World Part 2. We've got a teaser for that. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago when we first heard news that it was real, because I mentioned to Sean, hey, they're doing History of the World Part 2, and he said, oh, they've been talking about that forever.
Yeah.
And then they came out with a teaser.
So, but
For a
where are the
series.
where are the Jews in space, though? I mean, come on.
Well,
Aren't they supposed to be
just because they didn't show us the Jews in space doesn't mean they aren't there.
It's supposed to be there.
Right. Anyway, this looks fun, and I will check it out because I am a Mel Brooks fan.
Well, and so
I hope it goes back to how we used to make
the
them,
list
so.
of people in this is crazy. It's Johnny
yeah.
Knoxville, Taika Waititi, Seth Rogen, Kumail Nanjiani, Danny DeVito, Emily Ratajkowski, Dove Cameron's in it.
Yep.
Richard Kind is in it.
List.
It's like, and how many? It's 8 episodes. So, as a series, it's just crazy, and it seems really self-aware. David Duchovny,
it's
Sarah
self-aware.
Silverman, Josh Gad is in it.
Yeah.
Ken Marino. Oh, Ken Marino. Sorry, I like
Who's
Ken
Ken
Marino.
Marino?
Ken Marino was the if you remember Veronica Mars, he was the other hometown detective who was a jerk.
Oh, yeah,
He's
right.
also the guy who directed me in the Goldbergs episode I was in,
Oh, fun.
which was super cool. Jack McBrayer is in it. Oh my gosh, so many good people
Yeah.
are in this thing, and you know, but I got to tell you, I'm nervous about it because latter day Mel Brooks hasn't been the best.
No.
He's gone for the really cheap jokes.
Yeah.
Like, so everybody thinks I should love Spaceballs. Bits of it are really funny. The majority of it is really cringy.
Yeah.
And not in a Blazing Saddles cringy where it's like making a point. It's just like dumb,
Yeah,
jokey.
I have to say
cringy.
that is the case with a lot of Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
humor. Even the History of the World Part 1
Right.
had quite a bit of that
Yeah.
in it.
But I think it was they were like making harder points than the cheat. Like, you know, you look at Robin Hood Men in Tights and you're like, why did they make this movie?
Right.
Yes. Oh,
where like in the 80s, even when he did the remake of To Be or Not to Be, you went, okay, he's saying something here, I get it. And then there were just a whole bunch of movies after that you're just like,
No.
Yeah.
why,
Yeah,
Mel?
yeah.
Why?
yeah.
It, you know, except that, you know, people need money.
Right.
Oh, hey, just in case you need to know, Windows wants me to restart to install the newest Windows updates.
Oh,
Right.
good grief.
You've got to get in there and tell Windows that Thursdays are bad for you.
I really have.
Yeah.
I've set times to do it where I'm not at my computer. And
Coming to theaters on April 28th, Polite Society,
Yeah.
which looks really super fun. It's a
it's like
Bollywood
Bollywood, yeah.
type of a movie. I'm not sure it's actually a Bollywood movie or if it's because it's put on by an English company, Focus. Isn't Focus English?
Focus Films.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they do a lot of the sort of big things like
it's
that.
a Comcast company, so.
But it's the
British.
writer and director is Indian, and the
that's
cast
good.
is largely Indian.
Yeah.
And the combat in
It
it.
looks like a cross between Bollywood and Bruce Lee.
And Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's got that Chinese opera kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ritu Arya is in it.
Yuba.
You will recognize her from the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, I like her.
She was in
Someone
Last
from,
Christmas.
From Ms. Marvel was in this. I could be wrong.
Someone from Miss Marvel?
Yeah, for the Ms. Marvel series is in this. I could be wrong.
Oh, the mom. Wasn't it the mom?
Excuse me.
Nimrabucha, I think, is her name. Am I thinking of the right person?
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, she was in Miss Marvel.
Aha! I was right.
But what did she play?
She plays the older, sort of wiser woman who like gives her guidance. Oh no! I'm sorry. She's the one who you think. So this total spoilers here. You think that she's on her side, but she's not, and she's the one who wants to use her power with the bracelets to get back to like her own dimension thing.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I totally thought you said Mrs. The comedian from the 1960s.
No, Mrs. Maisel.
Right.
How about-
I recognized her from
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel,
Ms.
but I
Marvel.
thought you said
No.
Mrs. Maisel, and I'm like, what?
No, she's the one with the
yeah.
incredibly.
Yeah, the
Mrs.
Bollywood
Maisel
episode.
has some freak-
She's the one with the incredibly deep, crunchy, gravelly voice.
Yeah, I totally know who
You
she
know, when they
is.
switched out Tony Shalhoub with some Indian guy for that episode? Remember
Right. Boy, was that a different thing. No brisket for them,
Oh dear.
let me tell you. Anyway, it looks kind of cool, and I mean, you know, the choreography is insane, like beautifully so.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And it reminds me a little bit, and I played some of this earlier on the Good Morning Tatooine show of Bride and Prejudice, where it's just like it's a thing, you know, but it's off a bit because it's a different culture, and so it's like your typical action movie, but it isn't, and that looks really fun. Check out the trailer. I think it's going to be really fun.
Cool. Okay, so Sean, do you want to grab the next section?
I surely will. We did lose a few people to this week. We lost the son of Daredevil Evel Knievel, Robbie Knievel. He was a daredevil in his own right and a stuntman. He passed away at the age of 60. We lost Ben Masters. He was known for a role. You remember the old soap opera called Passions? Mm-hmm. Like, kind of came and went. He passed away. He was involved in that show for quite a long time. He was 75. Gina Lollobrigida, legendary bombshell, passed away at the age of 95. If you were of my generation, you will mostly know her from jokes in Warner Brothers cartoons. Duck of your head, Lollobrigida. But anyway, she was an Italian actress who was...
Many men dreamed about her.
She was the Marilyn of Italy, and which was amazing. And then just today, David Crosby from Crosby, Stills, and Nash fame, and The Byrds. He passed away at the age of 81. No relation that I'm aware of. But, you know, David Crosby always looked kind of old to me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised that he made it this far. Except, you know, he's always been very energetic and very active and things like that. And so this was kind of a shock. Especially to people who knew him and people who followed him on social media and things like that. So, it's sad news indeed, and I guess I know what I'll be playing on the show tomorrow.
Well, thank you for that, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, do you want to start the speed round?
Okie dokie. So good news for all you Marvel fans in China, because the Marvel ban has been lifted.
Wow.
So now they'll be bringing back now you'll be able to see all the Marvel movies.
You know, movie companies are really funny. I was talking to somebody on Facebook who, and this happens to us periodically, where like some place wants to do a Star Wars screening and they'll contact Disney and go, hey, we want to show Star Wars. And they're like, no, you are not allowed to show Star Wars until after June. Die Hard, apparently, over the Christmas season, had a moratorium where people were not allowed to do Die Hard screenings over Christmas. And they didn't say why. They just said, nope, it's in the vault. Sorry.
Bizarre.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
Where couldn't you watch Die Hard during Christmas?
You could not get a copy of the film for screening in a theater.
Weird.
If you wanted to show it as
the Christmas movie.
Yeah, and just, do like a retro screening, couldn't do it.
It's probably all Bruce Willis's fault.
I'm sure. That guy, man, he's so
I
unreliable.
needed Bruce Willis.
He had a few too many Seagram's wine coolers. Just wouldn't let him do it.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So when you see Bill Murray in movies.
Not Bill Mumy?
Not Bill Mumy.
Okay.
I tripped over that one.
Because I like Bill Mumy.
Yeah, Bill Murray. He's fun to watch, but honestly, he's kind of a dick.
He's goofy, occasionally charming, but
he
for the most part, he's just kind of an ass. Yeah.
And it's like the kind of thing where when you see him on screen, you laugh and it's funny. But if you were the person that he was interacting with, it would be unpleasant. And according to Gina Davis, he's kind of like that in real life too. And working with him was incredibly unpleasant.
I think he tends to be even worse to women.
The things that she's saying in this article, there's I'm trying to see who she was. Well, she was promoting her book, Dying of Politeness, which I have on order from the library.
Cool.
She did an interview with Variety and described her time with Bill Murray as he was abusive and would push women to do things that would make them uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and a lot of screaming.
I've heard that, and so one thing you guys have to know about Gina Davis, just in case you don't know, is that she has waged a campaign across decades to get more women involved in film production, to get women a fair shake on films, to do 50-50 male-female cast and crew kind of deal, to make sure that the weird boys club gets dissolved as much as within her power to do. And to hear these stories about her kind of getting pushed around by Bill Murray, I mean, it must have just been awful for her. I love her to death. Jeff and I went and saw Rogue One in the theater. Yeah. We got to go to the premiere, and I was like kerflumped after the movie, and she came up and said hi and talked about how much she loved Star Wars and was super cool. This is like the worst, because for me, Gina Davis is a perfect example of like what women in Hollywood ought to be. And the fact that she had to put up with this and didn't say anything about it till now.
She had to put up with being interviewed in a hotel room by two men, and Bill Murray was one of the men, and he, as soon as she came in, he wanted her to try his massage device.
Right.
And basically coerced her into trying it, even though she said no several times.
Well, he basically just badgered her till she gave in.
Yeah.
And went, okay, if I give in, will you leave me alone now?
Right.
Which is just really, really
and then
not cool.
On the first day of shooting a film, that I think he was directing. She was told two different things by the crew.
Mm-hmm.
She was told both to wait for wardrobe and to go to set. And so she asked for clarification. Costumes asked me to wait here. Can I do that, or should I come with you? And was told to wait for the wardrobe. And then Bill Murray came running up to her and just screamed at her, screamed profanities at her, and to get her on to set.
Well, because
which is completely inappropriate and should never happen.
Yeah, it was just not cool. The whole situation.
I don't care who you are in Hollywood. That's not appropriate.
Well, and that's not how you motivate anyone either.
No.
I mean, just from a human relations standpoint, that's not going to get you what you want.
Anyway, I'm going to read the book, and when I have read the book, it might be kind of a while before I get to it, but when I have read the book, I will report back and tell you how it was.
It'd be good to know, because it's crappy. It's the kind of behavior that needs to end. And we hear stories about things like this very frequently. Like we really like Nathan Fillion, and Nathan Fillion he's jokey and he's a prankster, and I think he's mellowing with age. But when he was a lot younger, you would hear from people who dated him or something going, "Oh my God, he is the most fun ever," but he's exhausting because he's got like all this energy and he's funny and he's pranky and he's goofy and he's a dude and that kind of thing. And you would hear about people who could only put up with that for so long. And I think that's the Bill Murray problem too, where like say Robin Williams had the same problem where people are like, "Oh my God, that energy just wears you out." But Robin Williams was genuinely charming.
Yeah, I don't think that Robin Williams would scream obscenities at someone because they weren't where he wanted
Bill
them to
Murray is the opposite of that. He's less charming. He's, just kind of a jerk about it. But I think he thinks he's being charming. And I think Chevy Chase has that same problem where he thinks he's being really charming, but he's kind of not.
Yeah.
And it's really a bummer. It's one of those things where you probably shouldn't hear about your heroes, Yeah.
What do you want to talk about, Sean?
Yeah. I am both really excited and completely repelled by this. They're talking about making a third Tron film, which I would love to see. I got my Tron baseball cap over here. I love Tron. Tron is awesome. They want to make it with Jared Leto, whom I do not like. Jared Leto he's a weird actor in that he goes full method and doesn't break character on the set. You got to call him by his character's name, and if his character is supposed to be a nice guy, then that's okay. If his character is supposed to be awful, like the Joker, it's terrible. So when he was the Joker, he was sending rats to Margot Robbie, dead rats. He was sending.
So speaking of inappropriate,
right? And some other cast members got used condoms, apparently.
Oh joy!
And of course, when people went, "Hey, that's not cool," he's like, "Oh, I was just joking." But the thing is that the other actors on the film came forward and said, "No, this is all true." So I don't like him from that standpoint. I don't think he's that great an actor. I think he's okay as a character actor. I don't think he's a good lead. And I also don't like that he's kind of a groomer and a cult leader, and he's got all sorts of weird, awful stuff. Klaus from the Umbrella Academy. He's Klaus without the charming.
Oh wow!
He's got an island that he and the rest of his bandmates have brought mostly women to. They hang out for several weeks, and he basically walks around as low budget Jesus, and it's just it's super not cool. And honestly, from a Disney standpoint, this is not Disney material. He's just a guy that I won't go see a movie with him in it. I went and saw Blade Runner just because, and he was
Blade Runner, and he was in it.
He was in it.
Morbius.
Yeah, I did not go see Morbius. Anyway, they're talking about doing this. Joaquin Ronning is directing it. He did Maleficent. He did Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Marco Polo, and a couple other things like that. So he's got a few films under his belt, not too many. This is a movie I really want to see. And I really don't want to see it with Jared Leto in it. He's just... Anybody. It's called Tron Ares. We don't know a ton about it at this point. But we've heard the name of the film before. We know it's supposed to be a sequel to Legacy. They had a perfectly good cast in Legacy. Bring those guys back. I mean, I know it's been some time, but...
Well, like a ways back, I think Cillian Murphy was attached. Why don't they just call him on the phone and get Cillian Murphy back?
Something. I don't know. Because I'm just not a fan of Jared Leto at all. I haven't seen anything I've really liked him in. I know didn't he win an Oscar for something?
I don't know.
I don't know what it was, but he's not my kind of guy. And I like I said, I really love the Tron franchise. I just don't want him in it.
Yeah.
So that's me. Your mileage may vary. That's just me being opinionated.
Jeff?
Yep. So if you live out by way of Tennessee, you will soon be able to get a brand new hamburger. In-N-Out is opening up restaurants out there in Tennessee.
And that's what a hamburger's all about.
I feel like In-N-Out is more a place you go when the other hamburger places aren't open. But that's not a popular opinion.
They were the perfect place to go because they were open till like 2 a.m. Although Colleen and I thought they were open 24 hours.
They're not.
We got back from Paris and we're like, oh God, we're starving. Let's swing by In-N-Out. And surprise, they close at like 2, like a bar. But you know, they're okay. They are definitely a California tradition, and I get that. A lot of people make that their first stop when they fly into LAX.
Oh yeah.
I've had better hamburgers. When was the last time we ate at In-N-Out?
I don't. Oh, when my dad visited, because my dad wanted to go.
Right.
Basically, we now go to In-N-Out when it's after midnight and we want a hamburger.
And people from out of state come
or
visit.
when people from out of town are in and they want to go to In-N-Out.
Yeah. So, been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Golden Globes were last week, and we never talked about the fashions.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't have a standout favorite, but I would like to say that now I've forgotten his name. He wears dresses on
right. Not Billy.
Billy Porter.
Yeah, Billy Porter.
Billy Porter is back in form. Yay! I was very disappointed with what he wore on the red carpet all last year, and he's back with magnificent dresses.
Well, Billy Porter, he has a tendency to do these big, flowing, sweeping things that are half suit, half gown, half formal gown.
Right.
He's one of the few people who can really pull that thing off. And I'm pulling up a picture here for you real quick. Here he is. And honestly, I mean, very few people can wear that and still look as studly as Billy Porter does.
Yeah, he looks amazing in that.
He looks really great.
Another person who looks really good is someone, I don't know who this is. Her name is Britt Lower. She's wearing a dress designed by Bach Mai, and it's gorgeous.
How do you spell her last name?
Lower, like lower
Just
the
like
drawbridge.
Okay.
Yeah, Britt Lower.
Whoops, I need this. Hold on. You get to see my web search here.
It's just
she's
the line of it is
Severance.
just beautiful.
It is. It's really sweet. It's total old school Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then on the what is this sort of a thing is Sarah Polley, Polley, who's wearing a Valentino, and it is like half dress, half men's suit coat. And she doesn't pull it off as well as
Billy Porter.
Billy Porter does.
Oh, geez.
It
That's a
doesn't.
shame.
It's not a flattering cut, and the sleeves are super weird. And there it is, the third picture over. Yeah.
Yeah, I clicked on it. I'm waiting to.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I had the.
Oh, I see.
Gotta
Yeah.
find it now. There's Jamie Lee Curtis looking awesome as always.
Yeah.
Who's that? Tim Burton. Tim Burton, man, always looks uncomfortable in clothes. Period.
Right.
He's that's a thing.
Yeah.
Heidi Klum. All right. Well, Heidi Klum can just wear whatever she wants.
And you know who looked lovely was
Here.
the young woman who plays Wednesday.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's Sarah Pauli. It's like she cut armholes in front of the sleeves because she didn't want to wear the sleeves.
Right. Isn't it weird?
Gotcha.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
What was the name of
The
Wednesday?
young woman who plays Wednesday. She looked lovely. Not
Jenna
a dress.
Ortega.
Yeah, not a dress color that I usually like, but she just looks fabulous.
And
in
you
it.
have to be of a certain age to wear this dress.
Oh my gosh, you have to be about
She's-
20.
she's like 22, I think.
Yeah.
And owning something like this at 22 is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's that was part of a whole line, fashion line, like 2 years ago, maybe.
Oh
And
yeah.
the fashion looked really bizarre, but she's not wearing all of it.
What's
so it looks
interesting is
great.
that when I looked at this
it's
dress,
Gucci. This is a Gucci.
that
I
weird
thought,
Gucci
how on
line,
earth
remember
did
that?
she walk in this dress? Well, I saw a video of her walking in this dress. How she walks in it is she has to bend down, pick up the
Gather
entire
it all
skirt,
up
and carry
and
it over
scooch
her
it
arm.
along. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Michelle Yeoh looked good too, in what she was wearing.
Well, let's find her.
Very, Starfield.
Oh, she does look lovely.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah, she looks like a whole galaxy.
Yeah.
She actually looks like a rocket ship.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I am so happy for her, and I really love the picture of Jamie Lee Curtis freaking out
Love that picture.
because, like, you would have thought she won, and she's so happy for her co-star. That's the
Yeah.
best. I wish everybody could be that excited.
Well, there's someone named Megan Stalter who wore cuts in her dress to show off her tattoos.
How do you spell her name?
Stalter.
Oh, that's what I typed. I didn't get it. She must not be have been that interesting to be in this article.
Oh, probably not. I wouldn't worry about it. It's just that she has high cuts in her dress so that you can see the tattoos above her knees on her thighs. They're not like fabulous tattoos or anything. In fact, they look temporary, but I could be wrong.
Alina Miller has a gown that's apparently chainmail fabric. Kind of interesting.
Hard to tell from that image.
That's true.
It's taken from too far away.
Yeah.
Sean,
Oh,
do
yeah,
you
I
want
see
to
that,
talk
yeah.
about something else?
Surely. Let me get back.
We always get kind of lost in the fashion and
Oh yeah, no worries. It's
Doesn't everybody really?
right. Two things here about Jeremy Renner. One, he about his accident where he got run over by his own snowcat, trying to dig people out of his home. Everybody got snowed in, and up at Lake Tahoe. He's back home, which is great. They're still not telling us the extent of his injuries, but he's very glad to be back home, of course. And season 2 of Mayor of Kingstown has debuted. That's his television show.
Yep.
He's still looking a little beat up, and because of that, his posters for his show for Mayor of Kingstown were retroactively healed. He had a bunch of battle damage on him to start, and I think they felt that was in bad taste, and so they went in and they cleaned him up digitally, got rid of the bruises and the blood, spiffed him up a bit because they didn't want him looking that beat up on the poster when he was looking that beat up in real life. Honestly, I don't think he cared. I hope he's healing quickly, and we're all pulling for him. So
Yeah.
Jeff?
Well, so they apparently Guillermo del Toro, Julia Louis-Dreyfus broke the news that
she
the
broke
Thunderbolts
the
movie
news?
is going to be start production in June. That's the one that's sort of, I guess you could say it's kind of like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad in a way or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and we've seen her in after credits scenes like collecting people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Was that Thunderbolts?
So, yeah.
Okay.
For Thunderbolts. So it's got David Harbour as Red Guardian, Olga Kurylenko as Taskmaster, just from same person for Black Widow, Hannah John Kamen as Ghost, and Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier. But of course, the other news was that Harrison Ford is going to play Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in the movie too.
Right, which he's taking over for John Hurt, who passed away.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys know about the friendly rivalry between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Did you watch the Twitter video that Hugh Jackman put out that was a heartfelt plea to not...
You want me to play it?
Yeah, just go ahead and play it.
Yeah, let me...
It's short and it's funny.
Let me find it here. I know it's on our list somewhere.
And these guys tease each other mercilessly, but they do it like it looks like it's all in good fun.
Oh, yeah.
I have to do a search. Here we go. Yeah, I think I was the one who posted this. It was a pretty funny little thing, and it's not what you think, which is why I want to play it for you guys. You guys on the radio aren't missing anything. You'll hear it.
He's just talking to the camera. There's no.
It says, "But don't get me wrong," and he says this on video.
Hey everybody, it's 2023 and I really wanted to send out a positive message at the beginning of the year, but recent events have made that impossible. Don't get me wrong, I loved Spirited. It's a great movie. We had a blast. The entire family watched it. I love Will. I love Octavia. Obviously, I did The Greatest Showman with Benj and Justin. They're incredible, and I loved their music. And Good Afternoon, by the way, the song Good Afternoon, I laughed the entire way through. It is absolutely brilliant. However, I've just heard the Academy have shortlisted Good Afternoon in the Best Song category. Now, Ryan Reynolds getting a nomination in the Best Song category would make the next year of my life insufferable. It would. I mean, I have to spend a year with him shooting Wolverine and Deadpool, and trust me, it would be impossible. It'd be a problem. So, but just to recap, love Spirited, love Will, love Octavia, love the song Good Afternoon, love Benj and Justin, but please, from the bottom of my heart, do not validate Ryan Reynolds in this way. Please.
With friends like that, who needs enemies? That's pretty awesome.
Sean?
I mentioned this in our teaser for the show, so I feel obliged to talk about it. You guys remember the thing with Adam Baldwin where he was involved in a shooting on the set of his film Rust? The cinematographer was killed on the set with a gun that was loaded with live ammunition that nobody knew was armed with live ammunition. A really sort of awful situation. And they're now reaching the point where this was like a year and a half ago or something, where the sentencing is happening. The weapons handler, or the armorer, as they call them on set, is being charged along with Adam Baldwin for involuntary manslaughter. Helena Hutchins was the cinematographer who was killed. The director, Joel Souza, was wounded. Alec Baldwin is a producer on this film, and so the people of New Mexico have decided that they are going to press charges and they're going to go. One of the other film producers has pled out, and they're getting probation and whatnot, and a fine, I think. That's Assistant Director David Halls. And so he's got a plea deal for a misdemeanor charge, which is negligent use of a deadly weapon. And so this is a thing that can be, I think it's 6 months in jail, and I think it's like $5,000, which is like what you can get for involuntary manslaughter. Of course, there's lots of penalties and things that they can heap on this. Of course, Alec Baldwin, who has said that he's felt terrible about it, and he's also swung to the other side where he's like, people have to lay off me and stop harassing me about it. He's been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They're going to appeal. We'll see what happens. And listening to the people from New Mexico where they're trying this has been really interesting, because they're taking the stance that, like, just because they're an actor doesn't mean they're not accountable, which is the exact opposite tack that was taken when Brendan Lee was shot. He was killed by an actor on set with a gun that they did not know was loaded. Very similar situation. It was a prop issue where the people handling the props didn't handle them well. And so there was a bullet in the chamber, and the blank fired the bullet that was just used for insert shots and killed Brandon Lee. Their take was that there are so many people involved. Who are you really going to charge? We're not going to bring charges because was it the person who loaded the blanks? Was it the person who put them in the gun? Was it who do we charge? That was their take. In this take, they're very pointedly going, nope. Just because he's an actor, he didn't check the gun. It's his fault. It's his problem. He's responsible. So it's going to be an interesting situation. I just wanted to give you guys an update on it because that's been filling the news cycle. And everybody from Alec Baldwin on down admits it. It's just the worst situation. And having seen him be remorseful about it.
I wonder.
Go ahead.
I wonder if actors are going to need to start taking firearms classes before they can take a role while they handle a gun, so that they can check that themselves.
Well, honestly, I mean, that's not
it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea at all.
But it's going to cost more.
Michael Massey, who was the guy who shot Brandon Lee, he never got over it. He passed away in 2016, and to the end of his life, he felt horrible for the whole thing. And his movie came out, and it made a bunch of money. It was like a huge deal. He did really, it did boffo business. It was the last thing that Brandon Lee did. So they wanted to release it. But he just couldn't let go of it. And honestly, if you're a person of conscience, you can't. I mean, Alec Baldwin is going to feel terrible about it. And he made a deal with her husband, brought him on as a producer of the thing so that the film could get finished, so that money made from the film could go to the family. There are steps that are being taken for that. So we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't do it on purpose. I'm pretty sure that nobody did it on purpose, but the level of negligence on the set, regardless, is unacceptable.
Yeah.
So, but the Brendan Lee thing was the thing that was supposed to change the way we handled stuff on set. And obviously it didn't, or we just stopped doing it.
Well, the problem is that they keep going back to cost-cutting measures.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really terrible. Let me jump in here real quick because we're going over a little bit. You're listening to Sci-Fi.radio. Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
Jeff Soledano.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And we're Docking Bay 94. Just to let you know. So anyway, this is an interesting situation. I don't know if he's going to like end up in jail and what that's going to solve if he does end up in jail.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what kind of jail are they going to put him in? I mean, you put Alec Baldwin in a regular jail, he's just going to be a big old target. And so, you know, hit him in the pocketbook maybe. I'm not really sure, but actually putting him in jail, I'm kind of wondering about what. That's not going to change things on set. I think things on set should be changing like right now anyway. But of course, we've had so many accidents with firearms on set, and Colleen and I knew a guy, Roger Farnsworth was his name, and he was a prop guy, and he came up with this thing that was a gas replacement for bullets, and so you would load them into the gun with the clip. And you would pull the trigger, and it had a flame burst out the front, just a muzzle flash, just like a regular gun, but no projectile, no gunpowder, no nothing. And, you know, he tried to get this thing in there, and nobody wanted to do it. It was going to be too expensive, too complicated, whatever, too much trouble to retrofit all of these guns. It was easier to just take a gun and slam a blank in it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if that's the way we keep thinking, that's going to be a problem. And Colleen and I watch a show called The Rookie with Nathan Fillion, whom we were talking about earlier. They have now gone to a no blank set. So they all have guns. They have occasional gunfire and things like that. They're handling it all with computer graphics.
Yep.
So, you know, you can work around it. I know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's more
really
fun to
reason
shoot
for
it
it anymore.
Yeah, it's more fun to shoot a gun with blanks. I'll admit that. I got a couple of blank firing pistols over here that are really fun. They're big and they're loud, and yeah. But we'll see. It's, you know, this isn't the last we've heard of it. We'll keep you posted as it goes on. But because I teased it, I didn't want to leave the show without talking about it.
All right.
So there we go. Anybody got anything else?
I'm done.
No, not really. I'm ready to go to tired.
Everybody's ready for bed.
Right.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're doing it on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or over at sci-fi.radio. We're totally grateful. Also to Boba-Kit Sovine, who does our social media stuff. If you're not a fan of the Docking Bay 94 page, you're missing out on all sorts of fun goofiness that she posts all throughout the week. Do tune in for that, and we will do this again next week. I'll be on the air tomorrow to wrap out Friday. Good Morning Tatooine is the show at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. You can hear me then, and it'll be Friday, which are always kind of like a little punchy. Alan, if you're still listening, I'll see you at Disneyland tomorrow. And beyond that, we will see all you guys next week.
Good night. Are we doing the sign out here, or we just kind of did it a minute ago?
Yeah, either way. Doesn't matter.
I'm Colleen Kelly Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledano.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
May the Force
be with
you.